We talk a lot about leadership styles when I talk with my managers of what style are you? And there's 3 basic styles. The first is the micromanager. 2 are very dysfunctional, 1 is very healthy. So let's talk about the 2 dysfunctional ones first. One of the leadership styles that's the least effective and done so often is what I call the overachiever leadership and style. And this is the micromanager. This is the manager who's very successful, very results oriented, definitely highly competitive, and wants to win. And those are good traits. However, they don't know how to create any bench strength. They don't want to let anyone go. They don't want anyone to make mistakes, and they're in everything. If you're the micromanager and you tell me something's due Friday at 10 o'clock, I mean, I'm going to get a reminder tomorrow and the next day, and then you're going to stop by my desk. And so what happens is slowly I stop accepting responsibility. I don't have to be responsible for myself. You're on my back all the time. You're watching me all the time. Often micromanagers have a temper. There is some anger involved. So if I don't meet your exact expectations, I'm in trouble. But the thing as an employee that I'm going to miss the most from you is the freedom to explore who I am. The freedom to learn what my strengths are. My life is so busy trying to please you and do it your way that I never will become an individual. And the problem for a company or an organization with micromanagers is when these people are gone even for a week, there's no one to step to the plate. They haven't created healthy, confident, proactive risk takers that will step to the plate and say, look, they're gone, no problem. They taught us how to do this. So that is one leadership style definitely to avoid.
I am so glad you brought that up, by the way. I was just thinking that, so thank you so much for covering that, because I think that's a big thing that
well,
we see today.
It kind of sucks the energy out of everyone, and we all have it. Sometimes we have micromanaging spouses, or we have a micromanaging friend, and it takes all the energy, creativity, and when we're around this type of personality, what we tend to do is finally just say, you know what? Why should I even think anymore? My brain is gone. Obviously, no one cares about my ideas. I'm going to do what I'm told, but I'm not going to do any more.
And in the end, everybody loses. When
oh, everyone loses. Totally. Everyone loses. Let's do the second dysfunctional style. The second dysfunctional style would not appear on the outside to be a, quote, bad manager. This is the really nice person. Nice guy, nice woman. They give you the shirt off their back. They know a lot about their staff. You know, who's had a divorce and who's been sick and whose kids are giving them a hard time. Very involved, very much into motivation and incentive and parties, and they want to create a team. So these are all the good things. There's some really good things. The problem is with the nice manager, they don't want confrontation. They're very concerned about making any waves, and the biggest problem is they want to be liked. And as any good parent and as any good manager knows, if you're going to be a good leader, you're not always going to be liked, because sometimes you have to say no, and sometimes you have to set limits, and there has to be consequences, and there has to be rules, and you're responsible for teaching people right and wrong, and what works and what doesn't work in a respectful way. So with the nice managers, they're very well loved, but they get dumped on. People come in late, and people leave early, and people take longer breaks, and people don't, not only do they not turn it at 10 on Friday, they don't even turn it in on Friday. And the nice manager is going to just do it for them because, well, I understand, and I don't want anyone to be mad at me. So these would be the most 2 dysfunctional leadership styles: the micromanager who creates no incentive to be better, and the nice manager who really creates no incentive, because we all tend to kind of get what we can out of people, unfortunately. And so if I know that you're nice and I'm never going to get in trouble, there's never going to be a consequence, I can do whatever I want, instead of exciting me and challenging me to be better than I am, unfortunately, many of us will just resort again. So both kind of to not doing the best thing and reaching our potential. What I want to create when I do leadership management sessions is I want them to understand these 2. Almost everyone in my audience falls into one of the 2. They know who they are. You know, how many of you are kind of bossy and like to order people around, have your own way? They raise their hand. How many of you you love your team and you want them to do well, and they just break your heart and they raise their hand? So let's talk about these, why they're not effective, why you're doing it, and what it is that's keeping the people from working from you from being successful. And then let's talk about the unbelievable parenting style, the unbelievable manager leadership style. A good leader, a good manager grows people. They challenge people, they motivate people, they allow people to take some risks and maybe make some mistakes, and they're there to mentor them and coach them and teach them and train them and cheer them on. And yet they're also there to say no, to set limits, to set boundaries, to have consequences. The only way any of us learn to be decent, responsible people is because when we do something great, there's a reward. And when we don't do something great, there is a consequence. And that's how our brains work. And we learn, gee, I don't think I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to do this. So the psychology of human behavior comes to play again when it comes to being a great manager and being a great leader, understanding who you are. And once you understand who you are, then you'll be able to transfer and translate that into creating employees that are absolutely amazing.